Hello and welcome, students, to another episode of History at Home. In today's episode, we will be looking at a class procedure for how you should be entering our classroom this school year. So, here is a picture of our classroom facing towards the front of the room. And when you're coming out of the hallway and entering the classroom, I would like for you to enter the classroom quietly and try to transition from the chaos of the hallways into a more peaceful, serene classroom. And from there, what you should do is as you're entering the classroom, take a look at the Promethean board for our Do Now assignment. So when you enter the classroom, you will see a slide just like this, and this will be the template that you'll see pretty much every day in class. This is our Do Now slide. And the Do Now has a couple of items on it that you should complete immediately upon entering the classroom. To complete your Do Now, you just simply have to follow the steps that you see in order. So they're numbered, just start with 1, proceed to 2, progress to 3. And from there, the most common way that we will start up class is by participating in a review question that I call the question of the day, or simply the QOD for short. So let's talk a little bit about the question of the day. So imagine that you walk into the classroom, you see this Do Now, and you see number 2 on this Do Now slide, which says collect a QOD slip from the front table. When you see that on the Do Now slide, what you should do is head up front to the Promethean board, and right underneath the Promethean board, there's a table, and you'll see on that table a stack of paper labeled as the question of the day. So you would collect this slip of paper. It has the title at the top, question of the day. And this is the form that you would return back to your seat with and start to fill out to proceed with class for that class period. So your question of the day is a 5-point mini class that we do at the start of a class period. And at the top is a rubric. You can read the rubric and follow along with it to make sure that you earn all 5 points that are available at the start of that class period. And what you'll see is I'll have a question on the board for you to answer. You'll write down the entire question in the question column. And then after that, you'll quietly and independently answer the question that I present you with. So even if you don't know the answer to the question, you could still get a 3 out of 5 and earn some credit for that beginning of class by simply following our classroom procedures. So again, at the top here, we have a rubric. If you enter class prepared, on time, quietly, and start up on the Do Now immediately, that's worth 1 point. If you complete your header with your first and last name in that class period's date, you'll earn another point. And if you copy the full question that I ask you in your question column, you'll earn a third point. So this section here, your answer section, is worth 2 points. If you don't know the answer to the question, you're still earning some credit in class by following our class procedures. So let's go through an example of what a question of the day looks like. So imagine that you have on your Do Now, collect a question of the day form from the front table. Now you're back at your seat. You have this form. The first thing that you should do is fill out the header at the top with your name and that class period. And then from there, I would show you a question. So we got our first and last name. We wrote down the date for that class meeting. And now you are earning 1 point. We're going to go for the second point here with your question. So one of the slides I'm going to show you is a question. And this could be a question that we answered towards the end of the previous class period. It could be a prediction question. I ask you a question usually to start a class. And here's an example of one of the questions I might ask you. Explain how feudalism leads to the Warring States period. So what you would do is you would transition this question onto your question of the day form. You would write down the full question into this question column. So transition that right over into the question column. Explain how feudalism leads to the Warring States period. So after that, I'd give you a few minutes to write down a fully explained, thoughtful answer in your answer column. You would do that. And once you have provided me with your answer, you would submit it. So there, right in the answer column goes your fully explained answer question. And what you'll do then is once you're done with answering the question, is bring it back up front and you would place your finished QOD slip in the clear container on the front table. So I have a clear container, a Tupperware container that you'll put your finished question of the day form in, and then from there, head back to your seat. Also, with class, what you'll need to do is come to class prepared each and every day. We've talked about this already in class. I ask that you arrive to class with 5 key supplies. You need your world history binder for each class meeting. You need your Chromebook and charger, and your Chromebook should be charged before coming to class. You'll also need headphones or earbuds so that you can listen to videos in class. You will also need a pen or a pencil to write with in class. And finally, you'll also need your agenda book each and every day that you come to class. All right, so summarizing today's video, please make sure that when you come to class, you enter class quietly and begin working on the Do Now assignment immediately. Most of our Do Now assignments will also include the question of the day, or QOD for short. When you see that listed on a Do Now slide, you should collect a slip from the front table. Please also come to class prepared with your pencil, your binder, your Chromebook and charger, your headphones or earbuds, and your agenda. Those are the 5 key items that you need with you every single day in class. All right, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.